I mean, he's always been a player that, for whatever reason, no, he doesn't have a great individual level. No, he's not going to carry a game, but he can have phenomenal impact. He's been able to pull that out, and he's improved his individual level across 2019. I think he's actually been pretty impressive considering his reputation.
Yeah, and it is sort of a widespread misunderstanding anyway that you have to have a team where everybody is, the final clutcher and everything. Like, that's not necessary. See how this plays out. I am really excited for this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Cirque versus Kenny, that could be a real battle. Obviously, G2 in front of the home crowd. So let's get into the match. G2 going to be starting on the T side, NRG on the CT side, and we're going to be on Dust2 for the first one in the best of 3.
Yes, and we are playing for a spot in the grand finals of ESL Pro League Season 9, G2 NRG. Live into the pistol round. Daps has got the utility. He's got the kit. Shocks and Jacks on the other side of the coin. They've got Smoke Flash each, and Daps wants to take a small challenge, a little bit of damage, is exchanged back and forth. A 2-1-2 setup for this defense. Pretty conservative, pretty standard. Just making sure all the bases are covered early on.
It is so tempting to take that shot down the middle with the USP. You wanted to work.
Both utility at top mid. I imagine this is going to be a flashbang, a pop flash to try and take out Cirque to see if you can catch him and get some players out mid. You also have the smokes to set up a mid to B split. But with 2 players, Daps is going to have a big job to do in CT spawn if they do end up going with that plan.
Smoke is going to make that very tricky. Does he really want to come through? He wants to help out that B bomb site. He's thinking about it. They've been slowed down, and Ethan getting a kill. Cirque almost connects, but they still lose the bomb site. And that means it's going to be 4 versus 3, trying to get their way through. Kenny up there on the rafters, going to be picking up Dapson. He does go down. It's still a 2-on-3, and they have another smoke on Shocks.
And they've just picked up the kit, Breeze. He circled back to grab it off Dap's body. This is a good setup, though. Amanek inside the site, Jax at back platform, not peeking. Shocks over at Car as well, playing contact with each other. They don't even need to. No follow-up peek necessary. Breeze is blocked out by a smoke. He couldn't do anything when Tarek tries to make that play happen, and this is all that's left.
Yeah, that worked out really well. I don't know what, if anything, Daps could have really done. You could have made an argument, well, better to try and flash your way through and sort of do a crossfire with the guy on the B-bomb site.
Yeah.
That is really rolling the dice.
Well, I think the big problem is, and I think we see it frequently on that player in CT spawn when that mid-B smoke is put up, like just underhanding a flashbang into that smoke. No one's really looking at that. Like, there's one player guarding it, right? Isn't it more efficient to throw the smoke or the flashbang like far to the wall of the B-bomb site for your defenders there?
Yeah, you could probably make that argument. It's tricky as well, because in other rounds, if you would have had an SMG or something, then spraying through the smoke makes a lot of sense. USP, not so much.
Yeah, the problem is, I mean, we just see that player get blocked off. On pistol round especially, mid-B splits are very difficult to stop. We got a tech pause on the NRG side of things, some sound issues.
Yeah, somebody destroying their headsets already.
It's possible. Maybe Cirque. I think he expected to have that kill when he committed to it at the double doors.
I mean, it was looking good for a little bit.
Yep, until he got shot in the face.
That is usually when the fun stops.
That's usually when things turn. One of the cool things about this G2 lineup, you see that interview Kenny gave where he's like, Shocks and I are at this point in our career where to be able to get to our good individual level, we need consistent teammates. And I think that's a really, really good self-awareness of the position you're at in your career. Not only that, but just where everyone else in Counter-Strike is. The individual level has grown so much from when Shocks and Kenny could just individually carry games by themselves. You can no longer do that on your own. Like, maybe the one-off map, not an entire series anymore.
I think there may even be a sort of a question of just, let's say, work ethic in the French scene that I think has been on increasing quite a bit now. Some of those early French teams, they could go a long way having a really good time, sort of traveling around the world, half playing Counter-Strike, half having, a good time at the club and partying and all the rest of it. I feel like that's not going to be possible to the same extent.
No, absolutely not.
And as much as people hate to say it, I think a large part of the reason why that's sort of been slowly being pushed out is probably Astralis sort of showing up and saying, actually, there's like a level of work ethic involved here that you actually have to try and meet.
It is Astralis just because, I mean, they're the team that did it first, but it could have been any team, right? Any team that had made that decision to really lock things down, be professional and gain, become one of the better teams and really emphasize that competitive aspect. But yeah, I mean, every team, we notice it as well because, we in the talent group like to go out and have a beer after a broadcast, and I think we're seeing less and less players at the hotel bars.
Yeah, and less of us. I think that's just because we're getting older. People are giving up on it. But it's fine. It's probably with the best of us. Listen, we all look at the gym now instead, Moses. It's much better. It's good on us.
Yeah,
we should get more credit for that.
We're all definitely in the gym, each and every one of us every day.
Something like that. Okay, well, it's 1-0 for G2. They're playing T-side on Dust2. I think they could get up to like 10 rounds on this first half. That's going to be my prediction, Moses.
You think G2's hitting double digits?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they will. And then I think they might actually struggle a tiny bit more when they get to the CT side. I think that's where some of the trouble might show up. Now, if they can get an AWP on Kenny early in that second half, I'm more excited. But if they struggle to do that, it's going to be, I think, a little bit of a different game. So we'll see. Cirque versus Kenny.
I think that's the real question is, like, can NRG recover if, say, G2 goes up like 6 or 7-0, right?
Yes.
Does NRG have it in them to, like, put a stop to that kind of a run? Do they have it in them to kind of return the favor and keep the first half as close as possible? Well, can they do what Liquid did, essentially?
Well, actually, weirdly, that actually is one of the properties I do associate with this NRG team.
Okay.
It's like an ability to be really far behind. And, I mean, Daps, he's done, I think, a couple of times so far when I've seen them play, he's done some of those pauses when they're down like 6-0 and they pause and then they start to bring it back. So yeah, I think like there's some decent quality leadership going on, and I think they will be able to. Well,
good news. Sound issues have been resolved. We're getting live underway. 10 seconds left in the freeze time. We're going to get back into it. It was just a pissed around, a mid to B split by G2. They were able to swarm in and get the bomb planted and win out in a 3-on-2 scenario. We're up 1-0, and we're going to have investment. 2 scouts, Deagles, 5-7 on the NRG side on defense. Going to try and return the favor immediately.
Well, we've got double scout coming out on NRG. Don't want to underestimate that. I feel like if you don't know it's here, then, it's sort of hard to react to. But if you find out that there are 2 scouts in play, you might want to try and adjust your play accordingly and not sneak around the map. Then it's almost better to throw those smokes, start to get especially that Mac 10 running, and just close out the distance because.
Yeah, the real disaster is if you just get whittled down. A couple tags in there, and then the pistols can finish you off easily. And this is a very cautious round from G2. I mean, you have to expect there's going to be at least 1 scout on the field. It's not uncommon whatsoever, especially on Dust2. So there's going to be the first one sighted. And unfortunately for NRG, both of them were peering at the double doors. That pop flash was perfect. Cirque's going to back away to join up with Tarek, who has that other scout. So now both of those at the A-bomb site. But mid control completely and entirely in the favor of G2 with no more challenge until they get to the bomb sites.
Looking at the smokes that are going to be put down here by the French side, you would think that some of those scouts and the one on the A-bomb side is going to have a very tough time connecting with anyone, and then they're going to be right on top of him. So there's 1 smoke, follow-up down in CT spawn. They do have a single one left and a flashbang. Nice shot from Cirque, and he needs that headshot, and he's not going to get it. The Mac 10 gets within range. A great follow-up, though, from Tarek. And actually, Amalek's a bit low on health. Oh, he's going to go down to Ethan.
They're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. 15 seconds left. Lucky on this flank. He has to make it work right now. He has to get into spawn. 10 seconds now on the timer. He's going to push in, and he's down as well. Great response from Ethan, and it's just Shocks. He's only got 29 HP, though. Any damage he takes, surely he can't pull this one off. Tapping away. The headshots did not come in quick enough, and it's just a matter of time. That's a nice return from NRG. And you were talking about the smokes and how difficult it would be for a scout. The biggest issue they had, not enough flashbangs. Cirque able to go for a couple follow-up peeks. Tarek able to feel comfortable at long. No flashbangs to force them off the angles.
Yeah, there was definitely a lack of that. I think they had 1 smoke and 1 flashbang left, but they were so busy running close to the bomb site. Cirque, that slows it down. But yeah, you can see he's not flashed. Tarek's not flashed.
Well, yeah, and Tarek actually got the first tag on that kill crossing into the bomb site. He got that, fell back a little bit, and retakes a new angle, and there's just no flashbangs at either one of those. So another pause coming out, another, I wouldn't say audio issue, but I guess it's in that family. It's a mic issue.
Yeah, we'll categorize those more or less the same. Cirque getting fired up on stage, so I'm screaming. I like it.
Which is so good, because I feel like Cirque, for as much as we talk about how good he is, I feel like he has this really odd propensity at this stage in his career to just disappear in big matches, at times.
Yeah, we've seen that, I think, a couple of times. You're right.
And it happens to young players,
Yeah, I mean,
but he has had a pretty decent amount of experience. So I want this to be like a series to remember for Cirque. I think that would be such an exciting thing. We got Kenny S and Cirque going head-to-head. Mic issues obviously solved quickly. I don't know how they were solved so quickly, but I'll take it.
maybe somebody forgot they had push to talk on. They were confused.
Accidentally muted the mic when they were cheering.
Yeah, but you know, yelling and screaming when you win rounds, I do think there's a case to be made that that can really get everything fired up. You just want to make sure you don't, you know, you're not mentally the sort of player where if you then start losing, it just all backfires.
Yeah, that's the nightmare scenario. We'll have to see. Time will tell. 1 AK-47, the hero buy on Shocks, and why not?
Maybe if they put it first. It used to be a thing in 1.6, the Russian AK.
Yeah.
You let one guy lead, and you know when he dies, next guy picks it up, just keeps going.
Well, one thing to keep track of, not like we would forget about keeping our eye on how Kenny performs. He is one of the players currently in the running for the MVP of the event. He's had a phenomenal tournament so far.
Lucky just peeking around this side. Maybe if he could cause a bit of distraction. There is still a smoke on Ethan. I think G2 might not be realizing that. So if he puts this smoke down right, it could be devastating at 30 seconds. Looks like, oh no. He actually goes away, and that's right when they push in. The timing is absolutely unbelievable. He had the smoke, he had the AUG, any one of them would have worked. Instead, he just wanted the flash in the middle, and that lost on the bomb side.
That's going to lose him the round. It's just save. Can't do anything. Yeah, Daps is going to back off. The rest of his teammates are getting in position to just get some kills right at the end, but they can't lose these weapons. They have to. NRG needs to be way more cautious in this. I don't even like the hunt. Yeah, Tarek's going to turn around and back off, and that is really unfortunate timing, but that's just a fundamental mistake. You can't have your anchors turning their eyes from that choke point.
Well, now then, that's where you would love to be able to pause the game, go down on stage, and ask Ethan, now, did you just improvise this yourself? Or, because you could have got the call for middle, right?
Right.
Like, I think Daps was playing in there. Maybe Daps tells him, hey, could you throw me a flashbang? And Ethan's trying to be a good teammate. Like, we don't know that, right?
There's no flashbang he's throwing from there that's going to be super effective, though.
I agree.
Like, there's nothing worth it. Not for that risk.
But, like, there's about 30 seconds on the clock. Maybe he's thinking of something like, if
You
they do a B split, I can throw that flashbang right now and it's going to catch them, and that's it. But I mean, I don't like it. I'm just saying that's the only way.
You're just making the argument for the sake of the argument.
Just trying to help him out.
Either way, it gives us a pretty nice gun round to have here on round number 4. 2-1 in the favor of G2. They've traded back and forth with G2 taking the pistol. Cirque gonna hunt it down, and that would have been a great flick to hit. That would have been really impressive if he was able to nail that as well. Fast out mid. They love going after that scout, a weaker weapon. Trying to take advantage of it early. It's not going to happen. Tarek as well, maintaining presence on Catwalk. He's got the support of Freeze, but he's pre-aiming the angle, and that's what happens. Lucky drops them both, and it's only Cirque with the scout, and he's going to commit to this. And he's got 3 players coming long, and it looked like he wasn't even considering the possibility of that, but Kenny S takes him out.
Yeah, you could see Breezy up on the catwalk was ready to peek the headshot box, and not at all anyone that close to him.
That's just 2 rounds that NRG has really missed the timing. Tarek falling back, didn't think they'd be up on catwalk, and he's trying to pre-aim towards that headshot angle on top of the middle box, the Xbox. And the one before, obviously the timing of Ethan trying to throw a flashbang in towards middle. Pretty brutal pair of rounds for NRG to experience.
Yeah, you really hate to see it, especially this early on in the game. They lost the pistol, they won the follow-up round, and now they lose 2 in a row here. And it looks like even saving the M4 might be a problem. But the crowd is absolutely loving it. Lucky with a nice quad kill in the round, especially the 2 first ones, obviously huge impact.
Yeah, the openings. Well, NRG cannot really fight for this round. Pick up a little bit of utility, maybe some upgraded pistols, but they'll sit it out. What do you think of the... Did you see what it was that Ocelot had said as well? He almost made like a little bit of an Anders move.
Oh, Yeah, people should do that more. Carlos, what's he doing?
He said if G2 doesn't win Pro League in Cologne, he's going to do something in the Himalayan mountains, like become a shepherd or something. I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
All right, listen, I like that. I really like Carlos. I think he's. Oh wow, nice shot from Kenny. Good job on shocks as well, getting jumped in the middle. It was USPs, but still, you don't want to be giving too much away or any kind of a chance. So they're going to be trying to save this AK-47.
It's if they don't win Pro League and the major in Berlin, he's going to become a monk in the Himalayan mountains.
Well, listen, I think that's worth doing anyway.
You're up for that?
Yeah, well, I
could see you becoming a Himalayan monk.
I wouldn't do that, but I do have a plan that's in that direction, Moses.
Okay.
With
nice from Daps.
With Neo from FaZe. You think I'm joking?
No, I'm down with that. I'll come hang out for like a week.
Yeah, that's about what it'll take. It's gonna be cold. I'm just warning you already.
I just wanted to get that out there so everyone watching knows if G2 lose this, make sure you tweet at Ocelot with the hashtag G2Army.
You definitely should do that. Right now they're looking good. But did he say they had to win both the major and Cologne?
Yeah, no, the major and this.
Okay.
And Pro League.
It's
bold.
That is bold.
It's aggressive.
Okay.
But so far, so good, I guess. They're still in it, and they've got a great... I mean, they're the favorites in this matchup against NRG, considering the roster upheaval.
Yeah, 4-1. And like I said, I still think this first half is going to be the one that's more easy for G2 to play. Second half, less so. So even though 4-1 is not great for NRG, I'm not panicked yet.
I think G2's okay on this map. I think Train is where we've seen them have some struggles. They looked great on it yesterday against FaZe. They looked phenomenal against FaZe yesterday. That was a disgusting matchup to watch. Pretty standard defense, but NRG, over a minute left in the round, and they're all out of nades. No smokes, no flashes, no nothing. No kits even.
Well, at least you can't miss the timing on your grenades when you don't have them. So
that's a good point.
We're not going to see any of that.
Well, Breeze might have some issues at long. Lucky and Kenny S here. Amadek joining up with them. Jackson Shocks in position on Catwalk. They have complete control, nothing being challenged.
They're playing hot potato with the bomb.
Yeah. Well, you don't want Kenny to have that. You want Kenny to go wild. Circa's going to give up his position at the railing, and he's going to come out towards long. So even if the A bomb site is under attack, play retake and control this portion of the map. It's going to be a big chance, but Kenny S is going to hold the angle at long. A lot is on him. How long does he stay poised? Cirque coming in and off angle, and now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and oh, what a peek from Kenny. Cirque had no chance whatsoever.
That is actually outrageous. I think Breezy definitely had a big chance to get that kill. That was, you know, that needed to be a connection with that org. Now, the peek on Cirque, though, that was wild.
That was filthy.
Like, even with X-Ray, it didn't actually look like he was anywhere near in vision to take that shot. I guess he was. That's such an off angle as well, in the middle of long.
Yeah.
Like, well done.
It would have been interesting to see what he could have done if Kenny, even if he doesn't get that pick, because, I mean, surely he's going to go down at some point. You have 3 players at long, you have 2 players coming into the A-bomb site behind you. Yeah. The only way you get out of that is if you come up with some kind of a miraculous play at long, right?
Yeah, like you take the shot, then you jump as you get ready for the next one and hope that when you land, you can just immediately hit it, or you're done.
The problem now for NRG is that the money is building up for this French side as well. That's a big kill from Tarek that I think is going to prompt them not to move forward and try and chase any more of these weapons down. And G2 is going to be fine with that, considering the way that they've just worked their way through this defense repeatedly. 5-1.
Malik looking animated as well. He's been quite lively this tournament, writing notes. He's been, you know, sort of like getting more into it.
Yeah.
I like that. I want to see the active coaches. We've got like so many of them now that are really, you know, fired up.
More and more, yeah, the coaching role is such an interesting one because it's still so like much hidden in secrecy, but we certainly are seeing a lot more coaches get credit from the players, a lot more coaches like really being involved.
You know who was always fired up? Not that you ever had the impression that it really had to sort of necessarily make a difference for the team, but you know, back when Nip were playing and Heaton was a bit behind them,
yeah,
you know, he was just, because obviously he's so big as well that he was just like, yeah, like a Swedish Viking, just, you know, loving it.
Yep.
Those were actually, someone should get some footage of that.
No, he was fun. There's a couple of events that the Dubai one comes to mind for me. Back into the action after the timeout. NRG trying to compose themselves. And they need to do it quickly, and they might... Oh, this could be a checkmate call. Dap's the only defender at the B bomb site, but fortunately for NRG, it's not some kind of a contact play in those B halls. Jax is going to go towards mid, but there are 3 players in upper dark. One of them being Kenny S, and now NRG has to find a way to rotate back to this bomb site safely.
Ooh, they got Catwalk, so maybe they could get there quickly, but Daps has got an Org and absolutely nothing else to stop them with. This is going to be a lot of headshot if it's going to work out. He's going to get one on Aminek, flashbang to set it up, and now he's trapped in the corner. Nowhere to go, and the rotation still might just be too far away for this to be worth it.
This is one of the things about G2 that's been so impressive, even more so than some of the skill we've seen out of these players and the young guys growing up, is tactically, some of their mid-round calls have been phenomenal. They have another perfect read here, just going to the weaker bomb site, getting in with an easy trade kill, and NRG can't fight for this. No utility, no kits, just back away again. So that, I mean, that's the definition of a tactical win these past few rounds. When you see 3-4 players surviving, you're beat by tactics.
Yeah, you really are. And that, I think that's something that starts to get really annoying, especially if you're Daps and you're actually calling for NRG. But just in general, the feeling of they actually just know every round. Like, they can't really do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to make a choice defensively if you're going to have, I mean, I guess, let's say the most common setup is 2B, 1 mid, 2A. Then if every time you do anything apart from that, like let's say you have 1B, 2 mid, 2A, if every time you make that kind of a diversion and then they go B, and then you say, okay, fine, then we'll stack 3B, then they end up at Catwalk and you have no one there, you can really get into an ugly rhythm like that where it's just like, well, what are we supposed to do, you know?
Well, here's a response. AWP picked up on Ethan. Cirque's got one as well, so the immediate double op setup. One of those AWPs in that B bomb set. But here's Kenny. He's got the spawn and he's got the pick. Breezy was so blind as he turned that corner. A beautiful flashbang from Shox. I think Kenny would have gotten it anyways. He was there a good second and a half before Breeze turned the corner.
And last time we saw G2 play in this tournament on Dust2, some of those runs from Kenny, sometimes he would run there and shoot before he even knew what was happening. Like, he was so quick with it.
Or he's been taking that angle for what, like a decade now?
Look at Daps.
Mixed into his blood.
Yeah, it really is in his DNA at this point. This is smart. You're down 4 versus 5. You need information to make up for the fact that you've lost a player, and that's what Daps is trying to give them. Now, is it going to be enough Circus out here with the Molotov? Oh, yeah, did it land? Yeah, I think it did a little bit of damage before the smoke came up, but he's still going to get run down. And they're still controlling top mid, yeah. Oh, my God.
Hell. This is an absolute slaughter. G2 making NRG look like amateurs in these first 8 rounds of the game so far. And they're going to hunt this AWP. They've got so many players with so much cash. There's no way Ethan's getting out of this unless he fights for it, unless he does it perfectly. Jack's waiting for the head to appear. Now he sees it. Great shot from Ethan. Fortunately, his smoke missed a little bit. That's going to make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, they have some money to fight with here, G2, so can understand why they don't want to face a lone AWP in the next round. Even if you lose a couple of players here, just taking it away definitely helps out. And they're right on top of him as well. He's going to get one more kill. Ethan now jumping up. Oh, wow. They do take him down. Losing 3 players at the end to him, but still, that might be worth it.
Oh, that's well worth it. Just that one kill, just to get the AWP out of his hands. Lucky had 16K. Even after a buy, he's still got 11,000. Jax is still over 10,000. Kenny's over 11,000. So we're all good. We're all good on the G2 side of things.
I'm curious, Mose. Did you ever do any in-game leading back in the day?
Hell no.
No?
Hell no.
It's weird because you seem to be, you know, amongst the talent group, you guys won't know this, but Moses is the one who organizes everything. So I was just thinking that it would be sort of natural.
Yeah. You guys would be lost without me in certain situations.
I've had that.
Specifically organizing dinner.
Yeah, I've had that moment a couple of times. Like at an event where you're not there, I'm like, wait, who's organizing dinner now?
How do we eat without Moses?
That's how it is. Well, I was just thinking, 7-1, ladies and gentlemen. Things are looking so good right now for G2. Better than I think even the the wildest optimist would have hoped for.
And look at the spread. Lucky, Shox, and Aminek all with 6 kills.
Yeah.
Kenny's got 8 with that AWP, but this is phenomenal. This is a great team effort out of G2. That's a bit awkward. That's a tough angle to hit. I don't know if that was called. There is a deep smoke in mid from the CT side of things, so they might have been able to say the possibility is there without actually spotting it. Either way, Lucky was caught in an awkward corner. Ooh, wow. That's a great shot from Tarek. Here we go. Another one to follow it up would be a thing of beauty, and he's going to remain aggressive. He wants them to come around the edge of the smoke.
Yeah, he is looking for just one more chance here. They are all pushing up, and it's going to be Shock to take him down. He did drop pretty low on health, and Daps is in a good position. That's hard to read. But that FAMAS, can he get one more headshot? It's not going to be possible. Taken down by Jax instead. There's still a man down. There is a Molotov on Cirque. That could be huge.
And no one's in the site. Jax is going to be forced out, but he bails out to the railing before they can peek. That is a nice, quick decision-making. They know one is below. Good shot from Jax. Shox has the crossfire.
Yes, he does. Should be almost impossible to break this one open now. Cirque, without a kit and without a smoke or anything, has to try and find 2 players, then defuse for 10 seconds. And that is not going to be allowed. Very close round, but NRG need more than that right now. And they've tried a bunch of things, right? They've already had the double orb.
I think a lot of the problem is again, like opening kills have been a really rough scene. We've seen a couple missed timing, a couple uncomfortable peaks, but more than anything, it just feels like they're getting outskilled at the point of contact. We've seen Tarek get wiped out. We've seen Cirque not able to handle it. We've seen Breeze get eliminated from Pit. So here we go. Long play again. Jax is going to be aggressive, turning the whole time. Good kill from Daps in the follow-up. There he is. 8 kills on Daps.
Yeah, good presence out there at long, and a little bit of a roulette sometimes about who's going to get the most flash and who can see who, but clearly coming out on top. That's very awkward. I don't mind the idea of having some sort of jump over, but you don't want to fall into that that viewpoint.
I've got to almost even take back what I said about the opening kills. Actually, NRG's leading at 5-4, and they're still not able to take advantage of that. Good ult from Tarek, but a better from Kenny S. And now you've got him. He does have the bomb, I think, is the tough part. He would love to drop that over to his teammate and stay in the back lines. He's going to have to put it down with a low HP, but Kenny S and Shox in a 2-on-4. This is mouth-watering.
I mean, it should be impossible. There are 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, and 4 CTs still alive there. Last smoke for the T side goes up. This would be a miracle hold if they could somehow steal this away. Kenny in a good position. He's going to take down Daps and rotating back in. Wants to remain elusive. Shock setting up with the AK-47. He's going to spray down Ethan, and now it's all on Kenny. He picks up one more shot, and Breezy is just going to be able to find him. It is very close at the end. He does have 10 seconds on the defuse, but I think he's going to have the time for it. Man, they almost stole that away.
Yeah, they really did. That is a nice job. Even without winning the round, that's a victory of sorts for G2 between Shox and Kenny. 3 kills. Like even in the victory, NRG's money is not going to be great. They managed to salvage 1 AWP, but what do you have behind that? What do you have to actually start a streak to get back into the game? And this is the question I brought up at the start. Does NRG actually have it in them? Ooh. Does NRG actually have it in them to stop G2 here and actually make this a competitive half? Get up to 5 rounds. Get up to 6 rounds.
Well, normally I would have said they would have taken a timeout and tried to do it, but they won that one, and that's big news. Amanek completely flashed, and he's not going to get there in time. That is a play they've been doing a lot, G2, and it's been working amazingly to get down in that pit, but this time...
They're normally very good at it as well, but that's just the coin flip of that long battle. I think anyone who's ever had to go out there first with an AK understands there are going to be some times where it works and sometimes where you just get absolutely destroyed. 4-on-5, another opening kill for NRG. Cirque is going to take that angle in towards Upper Dark with the AWP, and he's got Daps backing him up at doors as well, and a mid-B split is coming, so this is a great setup. Between Tarek and CT spawn and Daps in the B bomb side, they can set up a crossfire at least until Tarek is smoked off.
Yeah, but this is a contactless B split. Normally you throw a smoke at this point so that you can block off that CT spawn, but they are just in there. Are they going to go behind it? Yeah, smoke goes up. They really want to see if they could do this. Actually, another one making it very hard to see anything there. As Cirque looking at the angle. What a bold play with the AWP, but he's going to get the kill. Huge reward for it. He does go down to Jax, but still another 2-on-4, and they're not even on the bomb site yet. In fact, Kenny's fallen back from middle to try and join up with his teammate here. I don't see them fighting their way through this one. And indeed, now Kenny...
Oh, no!
God! How is that possible?
That is so fast. He's going to get this bomb planted. Will he read the flank is the question. Actually, if he gets aggressive and he clears out mid,
He could run to A.
he can run to A, and that's exactly what he's doing. He just, oh, what a bold move. Kenny S 13-4, and Breeze is going to be so sad. He does have a kit, but now you realize you're going up against Kenny S with an AWP, and look how much ground you have to cover before you get to the site.
Kenny's picked up an AK in the meantime, but Breezy won't know that. He's walking. He has to walk as well. As soon as Kenny knows where he is, the whole game is going to be up. That bomb is planted way out in the open. In fact, look at Breezy. He doesn't even know where to look. When he sees where the bomb is, he must be thinking, it could be almost anywhere. Yep, it could be Gandalf. It could be... Oh,
no.
He still picks it up. Kenny. There was no tap. Did he just try and beat the timing blind?
Yeah, he just tried to peek it. Thought maybe it was going to be a stick.
That's a big win for NRG.
You're right, because that plant spot, you'd probably normally, that would kind of set off the alarm bells for long, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think...
But, I mean, that plant is open to, like, 3 different spots.
Yeah, and I think actually anytime you're in a position like that and you don't have, the time on your side, it probably is better to say, I'm just going to assume he's, like, one of the positions I'm going to write off in my mind. And if he's there, I get shot and I die, and it doesn't matter. But the other 2, I can try and cover. But if you try and say, well, let me try and cover 4 positions, like, how's that going to work?
Can I say one
Yes.
thing? Well, let's watch this flick, because this is disgusting. Like 99% of the players in the world, I would say, yeah, you're in a 1-on-1, pick up the AK-47. Kenny S, keep the AWP.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. If nothing else, then for our sake,
For everyone's sake.
It's so ridiculous. In that last flick, it actually looks like time is just moving differently for him, Like, it's so quick, because we're already watching it in slow motion, and I can't even believe it.
This is actually really impressive from NRG. They're able to start, 2 in a row now. They still need to come back in this. They're still not quite, I would say, like, putting themselves back in position in this map. But the fact that they're able to get this and they're able to stop this at least for 2 rounds in a row, there's been 8 bomb plants in these first 11 rounds that have fully been played out. That's so much bonus money going to G2. That's so many close rounds, so many retakes that the last 2 rounds that NRG have won have both been retakes. This is a lot of pressure being applied from G2 because they're basically just getting into bomb sites whenever they want.
Yeah, and you could see that on the economy there on the French side too. Even buying here, they still have more money in the bank.
Rich.
Bomb? Yeah, they are indeed. We need to bring that back. Bomb is in upper dark. They've cleared out catwalk. They've held long. They feel pretty safe right now on the T side, knowing what kind of a defense they're fighting against.
They have everything they want. Mid to B split coming in. A follow-up smoke. We saw that in the previous round. Tarek up over the edge, though. He's going to grab at least one. Oh, there doesn't see him going into his door. He's got to stop Shocks, and he's got that one. Ethan as well. The hit is a bit mistimed, a little disjointed. And you can tell by the silence of the crowd that that was not good looking.
No, those 2 kills back-to-back. Tarek, he did not have a lot of vision there. So good job for him to be picking up that one. Really makes a difference. But they were getting pretty close to that B wall.
Listen, finally, NRG is able to build some money up behind their players.
Yeah.
Finally, 5 players survive at a victory. And now you can see they can get a couple more kits. They can get the Molotovs. And they're on verge for a comeback, Anders. Your prediction of 10 was actually looking like it was underestimated for a minute there.
I was never in any doubt.
And now it's in danger.
No, I think we're gonna be landing right there, Moses.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. 8-4. Money, saving a couple of rifles. G2 could buy the AWP. But now their bank is starting to look a little bit low. Shocks, in fact, getting the close spawn and not going to be rewarded for it. Quickly swapping out the weapons makes a lot of sense. And this defense has been looking very similar every round for NRG. Last couple of rounds. Maybe sometimes with Tarek playing a little bit closer to the middle. This time he's falling back to the A bomb side. So that does leave a huge gap in middle, which, again, from G2's point of view, like they have to figure that out somehow.
Well, I think the reason why it's happening for NRG is they put a stop to a couple mid-B splits in this streak of 3. They've been able to handle it, I think, twice in those 3 rounds. So they're saying, all right, well, certainly you're going to adjust now. Certainly we've showed you that we can prevent this from being damaging, from taking over the B bomb site now. Certainly we've showed you that we can, you know, prevent a loss in that sense from that strategy.
Oh.
And now this is just a mid-B split, except it looks a little bit different. It's disguised as a hit towards the A bomb, so that's a great shot from Daps, but it's not enough, because Ethan is all on his own.
Yep, he is. He's got a little bit of a smoke covering him. The bomb rolls all the way into the bomb site. Ethan, great headshot. Still a 2-on-2. Backup coming in from the middle. Ethan needs to hold on a little bit longer, but he's getting flanked as well. Aminek sneaking in. Ethan hiding inside of the smoke. How is he still alive? He should have been shot in the back already. Ethan coming out with a huge triple. What a little ninja in there, just hiding inside of the smoke. How does he do that?
I don't know. The smoke thing, I have no clue. I thought the positioning, the readjustment, when he gets the first kill towards window and jumps off the platform into the bomb site itself, I thought that was brilliant. Aminek has got to be frustrated as he walks in. That play, he's got him dead to rights for about 10 seconds. And then somehow just the movement of Ethan disappears in the smoke. That is brutal. 5-8.
Well,
it's been 4 in a row for NRG.
This was actually great because we saw, you mentioned it, they stopped that B split a number of times.
Yeah.
And I think actually G2's response to that was, okay, fine, if we're going to get shut down by Tarek in CT spawn, let's jump Shox down from Catwalk to shoot him in the back. Only he wasn't there. And then obviously Ethan comes over the triple. But you could totally see how G2 are trying to adjust their strategy.
Not only that, but Kenny S, as we just saw in that replay, actually cut off 2 rotations. He got 2 kills in CT spawn as they're trying to kick it over to the B bomb site. There was no help for Ethan. What an incredible round to win if you're NRG.
Yeah.
And now finally we have money issues for G2.
Yeah, this is where that could really throw out the prediction, couldn't it? If they win this now, it could be 8-7. It's Cirque coming up with a huge kill on Jax early on. That's what you like to see. And now G2, instead of having a lot of great reads, it feels like now they're kind of saying, okay, that mid to B really is not working. Even the variation of it, not working.
They've stuck to it for a very long time, haven't they? They ran it earlier. They obviously ran it in the pistol as well, so they felt like maybe that's some research. Maybe they thought that NRG was really weak on the mid to B defense, and they were right for about 9 rounds.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. Good to get that out there. Now they have 3 smokes, a flashbang. That's going to be a really good flashbang, you know. It really has to pay off. Shox is setting it up right now. Going to be throwing it over the long. Lucky peeking behind it, you have to assume. And, oh, he's going to catch that kill on Tarek. That was worth it. Cirque now completely run down. That flashbang may have done everything they needed to. Oh, Kenny! It looked like he just pre-fired that. The bomb stays up on the catwalk, doesn't fall down.
But Ethan's already on catwalk. Ethan's already here. And I think he's going to spot that bomb as well. Utility coming his way. Lucky, he's got to be careful with that low HP. As soon as this smoke clears, it's going to be any second now. Ethan, there's the flashbang in the sky. Ethan's going to get aggressive. He doesn't realize it. It's hidden in the smoke. He doesn't know they've crossed yet, but there's the nade. And now the angle is too tough for Shox. And there's the peek. Nicely done from NRG on the flank. 6 rounds. This is such an impressive half for NRG, considering the way it started, considering the fact that finally on the last round of the half, G2, this is the first time they've really been strapped for money. G2's had everything they could have wanted this entire half.
Well done for NRG to turn this round especially. It looked like they were about to be in a lot of trouble. I can't believe Kenny didn't hit that shot. I mean, it was the smoke that kind of, but it looked like he just pre-fired it. And I think that would have been the round. Smoke towards CT, thrown by Shox all the way from T-spawn. So really quick one. Tarek getting almost run down. And actually, he's flashed in for more. That seems crazy.
I think maybe he didn't think he'd be able to get away. Also, because he has 2 teammates at the B bomb site, maybe he doesn't feel like it's that big of a risk to take because he's still got plenty of defense there. And perhaps he's right. Kenny S. lurking in middle. He's got the AWP. Here's Shox for the entry. Taken down by Daps, and there's still one more hiding in the smoke to the left. Ethan's got a double kill, and he's put in a phenomenal half.
Wow.
17-9 for Ethan. 17-8 for Kenny S. They're going head-to-head, and somehow NRG recover. They go on a 6-round win streak to end the half. We're heading to a break. When we come back, we'll have the completion of Dust2.
Moving through the city like it's Gotham. They told me get one, so I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you not one. You ain't sacrificed, nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. How you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aight.
Live until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move.
3, 2,
Bringing summer
1,
to
drop.
you.
Oh, ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up. Let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so So what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide. And with the rhymes that make the dimes, I'll close their eyes and fantasize. Young divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love it. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats. On stages for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young black successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Live until the morning, sleep until the noon.
Yeah.
You said that you wanted, so I got it for you.
And we've got G2 and NRG. 8-7 in the first half. G2 could have probably been way, way better, but NRG fought their way back.
It's unbelievable. It was 8-1 at one point in the favor of G2, and to end on this score, that's got to feel like a bit of a loss for the G2 side, but no time to dwell on that. Kenny S, an aggressive push to the entrance of lower tunnels. Lucky now going to get a good spot towards long spots too. Backs away, knows that Kenny S and Jax have control of middle and catwalk. G2 really making sure they control the middle of this map. Lucky now might get caught. He's got to be really, really careful about when this hit comes in, because actually now Jax and Kenny S are falling back. They actually want to take this fight at the railing. They're going to get aggressive. Flashbang, one more on Almanac, but Cirque's got the opening kill. It's a P250.
Oh, Lucky over-peaking it as well, Kenny. This is going to be real tough, and he gets run down. He just wanted to fight his way back with a couple of headshots, and that wasn't going to happen. And look at how far away Shox is. He might actually get caught in middle. He has to run, and I think Tarek's just waiting for him. Yep. Nicely read. Amanek also getting sniped at from a distance. NRG picking up the pistol round. That is huge. And they did it. They made that look a little bit easy. Here's the comparisons. See if you can follow this.
Okay.
You've seen those cat videos on YouTube where somebody is like, they're filming the cat and then they put the camera back behind the door and they film it again and the cat has moved up a little bit. It freezes every time they look, basically.
Okay.
Like every time they look, the cat freezes, but then they sort of look away, and then that's what peeking long is like if you're on that side. Like every time you look, they move a little bit close, like, and then you look away, and you're like, okay, and then you look back and a little bit closer, you're like, God, please stop, like, for a minute, just let me be on this bomb side.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I actually think that's a pretty cool pistol round from G2. Rotating
So
everyone back towards catwalk and going for a pop flash peek. It just
I was
did
hoping
not
the
pan out.
analogy was cool. I don't care about the round.
The analogy was all right. I liked it.
People like cat videos, you know. I'm just saying.
So I'm told. Ooh, Breeze. He's about to love life. There's the first. There's the second. Ooh, and he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money, and so does Daps. Bonus from the Mac 10 on Shox, and Amanek gonna be in middle, gonna have a Mac 10, and that's all he can really do. So 9-8 now, which is pretty wild, all things considered. Like this first half, not only in terms of the scoreline at 8-1, but it was a smackdown. Like it didn't look like NRG had any business being in the semifinal for the first 8 or 9 rounds of this game.
No, it really.
Actually, maybe even you could probably even extend that to 10 or 11. Their first 2 wins were like very narrow one-on-one victories.
Yeah, it's like they solved that B split problem
And then everything got easier.
In the end, G2 didn't know what to do then.
That was like the most important puzzle piece, was stopping the mid to B split, which is probably the case for a lot of teams on Dust2. That's a very tough strategy to stop.
It is, especially because you can throw like 4 or 5 different variations of it.
Yeah.
Where it looks different, the timing is different. It is tricky. Still, you'd say for G2 then, you'd say, still there has to be a plan B, right?
Yeah.
It can't just be, let's hope the B split works, every round.
All right. Look at this buy out of G2. Kenny S. He's got the glass cannon up. Very little utility across the G2 side. Jax does have a kit, 2 smokes, and a flashbang for the defense to work with for the next minute and 18 seconds. And NRG being very patient. They've got 4 players of essentially full utility they can do whatever they want with, so slowly taking control of Catwalk, and there's no pressure simply because there's no utility to use to mount any kind of a defense in advanced positions. And obviously, Kenny with an AWP, even without armor, you want to put him in a position, you want to make sure he has a chance to have impact, and he's going to go hunt it down.
Wow. That, especially without the armor, this is a bit scary. He's not going to grenade it here, but he could still get shut down very quickly. Lucky there to follow it up, and yeah, they might want to fall back from that. That's a bit risky. 40 seconds, though. Where do they want to fall back to?
Well, Daps has thrown out some of his utility. He's only got an HE nade, and it looks like they just want to return right back to Catwalk. Maybe they think they fooled the defense, and they did a little bit. Kenny doesn't want to take this until he comes back. He's waiting for a flashbang. He wants to turn, go for one more, and he's got it. Bomb on the ground. They still need to cross into the site, and just narrowly misses the head, but the bomb is still down. There goes Lucky, and Kenny has to remain passive. Doesn't have the tools to fight this, but he does have Jax with him, and Amanek and Shox rotating over for CT spawn.
Great setup for a retake when you have long, and you could if you have Catwalk as well, that'd be even better. But the only thing is they don't have any grenades on this G2 side, so they actually need to find the fight pretty quickly. Have Jax with that MP9 set up for some kind of a defuse. He's the one with the kit. Tariq, easy kill on Amanek, turning around. What a great double kill for Tariq. That just might have turned it.
Well, Daps isn't involved in this round yet. He's being so passive, and he's back in CT spawn. Tariq going for his 3rd, and he got it. Continue the spray. That's beautiful out of Kenny, but Shox has 2. He's got a kit as well. And Daps, he's running up the ramp right now. He's out in the open, but there's just no time. No time whatsoever. And Shox is going to go down with the bomb, and it's another one for NRG. Now on a 9-round winning streak going back to the first half.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. As soon as Kenny gets that kill on the catwalk, in my mind, I'm thinking that's it. They were 4 versus 3 then?
Yes. I mean, NRG just kind of backed off enough to get Lucky to kind of rotate down to CT spawn. Because I think as a defender, once you stop that play towards the A bomb site, once you get that kill and you see them fall back, like the next logical thing, if there's presence in upper dark, as Daps was throwing nades, is a B split. You start feeling really nervous because Catwalk players can just walk towards mid, drop down, and come out mid. And I think that's what was going on in Lucky's head. And just no one in position to stop what was coming.
Things starting to look very strange for the home team. Don't know where it's going to go from here because they were pretty fired up as well. You see Kenny screaming. They looked really like they were having a good time.
They were having a good time.
Yeah, for a while. Of course, it's map number 1, and Train could be a different affair entirely.
Yes, and this is G2's pick. Train being NRG's, a map that NRG loves to play. We've seen G2, get stuck in Train quite a number of times. They're no strangers to the map, so that should be an interesting affair as well. There's Pop Flash Peek in middle. And this flank, this could be so well timed, but they're just going to get around the corner on Catwalk. Jax can still be effective. The problem is there's no one in A to slow this down whatsoever. Tariq is probably the best chance they have for a kill. They've got it. They would love to keep that weapon. No reason to go for this whatsoever, as the rest of your teammates are just going to start falling here at any moment. So if you're Amanek, save the Creek. If you're Kenny S, try and get the AK-47.
Ooh, Flash. That's a nice turnaround for Breeze. And they're going to be losing
everything.
What they had. Bit of a shame, Jax, with that flank out long. That was very close to being a perfect timing. But I guess close isn't really good enough anymore.
No, it's not. they've been getting blanked. It's 10 in a row now. Like they need someone to come alive. And this is kind of what you talked about. At a certain point, I think they've got a. I mean, they're going to buy here, and Kenny's going to have an AWP. They could have a double up if they want it.
I think they need that. I would definitely go for the double AWP. It's risky. It's going to cost them some utility, especially on shocks.
Kenny S's ADR is off the charts. Kenny S has 110 ADR in this game so far. The next closest player on his team is Amanek with 56. After that, it's Lucky with 54.
Well, good luck, have fun has been called. We're back in the game. Kenny, I mean, 20 and 12 right now. He's having a very good game, but yeah, somebody needs to help him out. Cirque with a peek out long, that could have worked out. He was there pretty quickly. And let's see what NRG could figure out. If they can continue this really now impressive winning streak. They've really, really brought this game right back. 5 rounds away from taking map number 1. That would be, I don't know, that would be a real shock, I think.
Ooh. Would have been a great shot to have, but you have to love at this point, with G2 having such a losing streak, with them now behind by 3 rounds, you love seeing Kenny go for those kind of plays, trying to give you any kind of advantage. Yes, it's risky. But you like seeing the confidence there. Mid control to NRG, Daps and Ethan up on Xbox. 2 players inside of the B bomb site, and Kenny with that AWP can cover catwalk, and he can look towards mid for information or to get a lucky shot for a mid to B split. I'm really interested to see what NRG is going to do with this round, because if they go long, they're in trouble, I think, with Jax and Lucky there.
But especially if they go long with the bomb, right?
Yeah. Well, Ethan's going to come back and join him, so at least there's going to be 3 players. They better hope this is a fortuitous trade. Lucky is in a tough position to clear out. Now, this might get bailed out because Tarek is going to get a free kill or 2 here.
Yeah, but they smoked long. They threw the grenade down at long, so Tarek, yeah, he get a kill, but they're still going to run out of time. 24 seconds, and what a kill from Amanek. Lucky still controlling it. That smoke on long, we only saw it on the minimap, but the timing of it is godlike. You can't ask for anything better than that. Daps, it doesn't matter what he does now.
That's a great kill, though. Takes away the double up setup.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Lucky might come back and fight for it. And try and make a run for it right at the end. No, he's not at all. There's an op right there. And it's a much easier op to pick up. So, G2 finally put a stop to the run. Finally, we get a little bit of life left back in them. 11-9 in the favor of NRG.
Sometimes, I mean, obviously, most of the time, we end up talking about important kills that happen. The timing of the smoke over here at long is so absurd. And all of the follow-up kills are a great job in this round for Lucky, but when you throw that smoke down, that's going to be always a good time. So finally, G2 picking up another round. NRG, though.
Out of money.
Yeah, wow.
2 Kriegs, 2 AKs, no AWPs. Almanek still has his at an angle in B tunnels. I doubt they push it again like they did previously. Kenny S has his at car towards long. And Jax has pushed up in towards the long cave. Ooh. If NRG doesn't clear this, and look, there's that smoke in the doorway to kind of disguise this play. Tarek. Deagle's going to be the first one in. He jumps around the corner. They do clear it, but it doesn't matter. The damage is done. 2 kills for Jax. That's well played. And Amanek finds Ethan in upper dark. Bree's going to try and continue to return the favor. Got to use that smoke for cover, peering up towards A. He's got shocks, though, with that UMP right behind him.
Oh, and Amanek actually going to be the one to pick him up. I still like the idea from Breeze to try and do that. You're playing 2 versus 4. You should do something. Shocks with the UMP. Nothing like the drive-by UMP ace that we saw.
That was pretty ridiculous.
I rewatched that like 2 or 3 times, and I still didn't really understand what was going on. It's like, how?
Yeah, you do have to watch that one over again. He gets unfortunate with where the path of the bullets flying out of the gun. 11-10, and NRG's fighting with pistols. So chances are good that we're going to even things up down the stretch, which we all love having a close game in the semifinals.
Yeah, now the money for NRG is really becoming a problem.
These 2 teams, I believe it was Peter from HLTV who put out the stat. NRG hasn't been in a grand final since Star Ladder at the beginning of last year. And for
All right.
G2, it's been DreamHack Malmö. 2017, I believe that was the one they won.
Yeah, so take a little bit of a hiatus
It's
from...
been a minute.
It has been a minute. See if they remember how to do it the right way when they get there.
Oh,
Dabs,
can he not have head armor?
I guess he didn't. He certainly made that sound. The bomb will be planted, but Dabs' feet on fire, and he's going to have to make a jump for it. It does go down, and that will tie it all up at 11-11. Man. This is where I would say, whereas G2 seems to have a bit of a tougher time coming up with a variation of that B-split, I think Dabs could do that pretty well.
No, but this is where you have to question kind of the situation that NRG is in, and maybe this is why we talk about it as some kind of a weakness. We know Daps is calling, yes, it's still the old stuff they haven't been practicing.
Yeah.
Tarek has having a lot more input than he used to.
True.
So you have a lot of question marks of in this crunch time, who's the leader? And that is the weakness we have to question a little bit. And that's not saying they can't overcome it, and that's not saying they can't get around it. That's not saying they don't already have a plan, and it's not even going to be an issue at all. But from the outside, that is a big question mark.
I don't disagree at all, and obviously don't want to have any kind of internal madness going on there. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. They do have the AWP on Cirque, so that's a fight that we were asking for quite a bit.
Circa is 9-17, but he's 4-0 in opening duels. Still finding some way to have impact despite struggling overall. And definitely as an AWPer, the opening duel is a huge stat for you to secure for your team.
Actually, due to anticipating a B-split, that's generally why you make that boost happen. Clearing out Catwalk. I could see Breezy actually throwing the smoke for a B-split in this round, all the way out here. They're clearing out Catwalk right now. They're holding up a dark. And now that they've checked out Catwalk, let's see if he's going to do it or not. That would make sense.
What a dick. He's doing it twice. Jax.
Yeah, he's ready for it.
You'll never expect this. He'll say, great, he's used his, ooh, or you will, or you're Breeze and you're just a god.
That's great. They're going to actually return to Catwalk. They haven't seen anyone for a long time. Ethan making his way there silently.
Shox will have such a fast flank. If Kenny S can get one kill and just hold him off a little bit longer and just delay the fact that they can take this A bomb site, Shox is going to be so effective. Especially if Kenny can get a kill, or maybe even two, you decrease the manpower that NRG has to actually watch the flank as well. This will be interesting. Shox is already starting to make his move. That means Kenny does not have to risk his life. He can just take an easy, high percentage shot and fall away. Here comes Shox from behind. Oh, Ethan spins. He turns at the right moment.
That's unbelievable. Look at the time that's left as well. 9 seconds here. Bomb will be planted. I think that's why Shox was thinking they must all be focused on that bomb site, and they just weren't. Dangerous position to stand up, and Daps is almost taken away there. And Kenny's got somebody pinned in. That's Tarek in the corner. Really needs that shot right now, and he's going to pick it up on Breeze at least. Still not over yet. Couple of T's hiding on that bomb site, and bomb is quite far ticked. They need to get up there. Everybody has a kit, and now Tarek holding it from Gandalf, trying to see if he can get that pre-fire in, and they're going to get him through the box as well. Malik is excited about that. G2, they could have absolutely lost that round.
They controlled that so well, though. Kenny S is such a force on that retake. You can see how afraid NRG, with 4 players alive. First that dink in the bomb site, but everyone was so scared to take that fight. They had the fights exactly where they wanted it. Everyone was in a position to see the cross, to take those fights if they wanted to, but no one wanted to face off against Kenny with that AWP. Amanek keeping Cirque pinned down. You could see him trying to get involved, and there was just never a comfortable fight from anyone from NRG. No utility at the end either, no flashbangs to distract any of the defenders retaking the bomb site. Here we go, fast-paced, half-buy from NRG. They've been so slow leading up to this round. This could catch G2 off guard, but they still have such a massive advantage.
I like this, though. Flashbangs out, jumping down into the smoke, and actually Cirque hiding inside of it. Timing is not going to be with him, so yeah, I think once you try that, you really have to get that first kill. Nicely done, though. Dangerous game to be playing in long range. Ethan, got to be winning that fight. This is doable.
It's very doable. Even if he has an AUG, he can pick up, actually, if he wanted to go for that. But comfortable with the Galil. Problem is there's no kit. And on the cross is the AWP. And Shox is letting Amanek take contact, and then he'll peek. Ethan, tough for the Galil to fight at that range, and he doesn't even spot out the AWP. 13-11 now as G2 rattle off 5 in a row. This has not been back and forth, round to round. This has been large runs from both teams, just stealing momentum for most of the match, which doesn't bode well for NRG.
No, but if you have to say something for them, the 3 kills that they get in this round will at least have an economic impact on G2. And I think if they want to come back and win it now, they're a little bit behind. The way to do that probably is to try and force...
Shatter the money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, get them back on pistols for a round or two. And then you can really start to catch up.
Cirque's back on his AWP. Yeah, you're right. G2 really is expecting a mid to B split at some point in the later stages of this half. It's a couple rounds now they've thrown up this boost just as a precaution.
I mean, they did it a lot themselves. Maybe it's, you know, it's one of those situations where, like...
Yeah, they love the mid to B split so much, they assume everyone else does as well.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't really had trouble defending the A bomb site. I mean, they've handled it quite nicely in a couple of different ways, sometimes with a retake. So why not position for some other kind of attack and just see what happens? I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of pressure from NRG on that B bomb site, which is why they're so comfortable putting Amanek with an AWP and they're all by his lonesome.
Yeah, he's actually been having a very peaceful time on that side. Dabs in middle, Shox nearly wins the fight, but that's gonna give a lot. Dabs actually running underneath. Lucky, is he checking for it? Yes, he is. That's very good. Otherwise, that could have really been crushing.
Ooh, they give up all their presence in mid-energy. That's going to allow Lucky to rotate over. I'm surprised that Tarek didn't just stick around and make sure that couldn't happen. Amanek's going to have some support here, which is going to make this tough. Molotov to force him out. This hit must work, but that's a great recovery. Out of cover, Amanek with a second. Ethan does trade him off, but he's down very low. 16, and Kenny almost able to stop the round. Yeah, flank and time.
Jax, he's just so quickly behind them. It's going to be hard for them to know yet. They have no idea. It would have been another 5 seconds before they even thought to think about it. There's going to be Kenny taking down Cirque in the end. When you get those really quick flanks in, the people, they just put the bomb down. They're not going to be looking up a dark that quickly.
They might have if Amanek doesn't get 2 kills.
Yeah.
If they're able to take him out without taking that much damage, they have the 3rd player to stay in the tunnel hallways and watch behind. But yes, those 2 kills from Amanek, so important. Not only to hold on to the bomb site and to win the round, but just to free up the flank. And Kenny is able to put a stop to Cirque.
It really looked to me like Amanek was about to give that away by vacating the back plateau. Because that, I mean, I don't know, it looked like he was going to get run down.
Yeah, he had to. I mean, that first shot was an important one to hit. Else, you know, if he misses that, obviously, he just goes down. But the Molotov forcing him out was huge. I'm just amazed that Lucky was allowed to rotate over.
Now, based on what they just encountered, they encountered Shox middle behind the door. They won that fight. They encountered Lucky on the boost. And
Amanek in the B bomb site.
So, do you want to try and use that intel to say, okay, if he's going to be alone on B, let's just try and get up a smoke so that he can't use the AWP and then flash our way through?
Honestly, I'm not even worried about what NRG is thinking. I'm wondering what G2 Esports is doing with 3 AWPs on this defensive side. This could be madness. A lot of money to invest. And I mean, I think they're relying on the slow pace of NRG having a chance to get multiple picks, and obviously just putting an AWP on catwalk, one at long and one on the B bomb site, and just having really mobile riflers can be pretty deadly.
Well, we're about to find out. Tarek just wanted to get up on the box. Denied by Kenny. That was a nice shot. They're going to lose Lucky in the meantime, but Breeze is going to check the corner. Sort of unlikely when you already got that first kill.
Jax has been playing such gimmicky angles.
Yeah.
We've seen him pushing towards that long cave twice, now just behind this blue bin. There's the other AWP. They saw it in B last round. Ethan marching all nonchalantly in mid as if there was going to be no issues whatsoever in Breeze. He's not going to check it. He just runs past. But Daps, that's a beautiful shot on Kenny S. That opens it up. That gives you the possibility. You've got Cirque and Daps in a 2-on-3. Problem is no utility. And Daps is going to take that fight. He wins another one.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity there for Jax. He probably had the advantage. Grenade, no one there to trade it. That was a great flashbang, but they look like they don't want to do this.
They're saving.
Interesting.
So much money sunk into the ops. And wanting to preserve the double op setup, obviously. That's been something they've been employing for the most of this half, and it's obviously been very effective. But at the end of the rope with their money and with a 3-round lead, I like this call. And Daps, at a certain point, I think someone from NRG is going to sit there and say, you know, it's already done and over with and we can't change anything. But Daps has been so good this event. In crunch time, he's done such a good job when they've needed him to step up in clutch moments, especially at the end of matches.
Do we know anything about how it is contractually? Like, is he still contracted to NRG?
I have no clue.
I'm just saying he might be making his life even worse because if somebody wants to buy him now, maybe, you know, maybe NRG are going to be saying, no, hold on, you know? Whereas if he was playing really poorly, they might just be like, yeah, you know what?
Well, I'm sure they're listening right now, so, you know, probably taking business strategy from you.
Yeah, so many people shouldn't do. Life advice, that's more my area, Moses.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
27th round, 14-12. Nothing has been decided yet. I really thought NRG were going to lose that last round. It looked, again, it looked very much done. I'm shocked that Daps found that kill on Kenny.
Yeah.
And I think Jax, I don't know. I think he kind of gave that away.
He got stuck in the open a little bit, didn't he?
Well, he was doing that intentionally and just, I think he just really wanted to take the fight against Daps and said, I'm going to win it. And then he missed every single bullet.
Not a great feeling. All right. Kenny S and Lucky inside of the A-bomb side. Kenny's going to take that aggressive angle again.
I like
Delayed,
that because
deep.
they don't have grenades.
Yeah, but they've seen this before and they weren't punished by it. That's a good flick over, but just barely missing. HE grenade does a little damage. And Kenny can be passive. He's got Lucky in the bomb side, and now Lucky switches position. Lucky's going to be the one to get aggressive. And NRG, they might assume that the op that they faced off at that angle is just going to fall all the way back, and they won't have to deal with anyone except at the railing. So Lucky could be confusing.
38 seconds. Ooh. Oh, Kenny still able to pick it up. Flashbang right in his eyes, and he is going to be going down. Now Lucky, all on him. He's going to pick up the first one. He can't continue that. Otherwise, that would have been the round. And this time, Jax not going to miss the opportunity. It is all on Breeze, and he's going to go down. Jax with a double, and that will be 15 rounds on the board for G2. Wasn't clear that there was some sort of huge switch up in the defense, but they got some of those fights, and that really made a difference.
Yeah, obviously, Jax holding down long was great. Lucky in that position as well, just delaying, slowing things, grabbing Cirque, making sure that AWP couldn't wreak havoc. If that AWP is the one peeking long, that could have been massive to eliminate Jax from that position. But now, NRG, that plant helps them a little, but the money is just atrocious. And what a switch up this is, what a risk, what faith you have in your offers if you're NRG for, in this economic situation, to drop that AWP over to Cirque for Breeze. Two AWPs on the T side, on the offensive side, you're hoping for a pick.
Ooh.
I don't know how Kenny survived that one.
Yeah, he was double scoped as well, wasn't he? So he couldn't see anything that was happening in front of him. He's so fired up, Kenny.
Good, 26 and 17, he should be. He's been a beast, he's been phenomenal in this game, and he's carried G2 through stretches of this map. And he's got them to the finish line. 3 chances to carry them over it.
Yeah. And unlike some of the previous rounds here for NRG, they really have almost no grenades. And they've been pretty reliant, actually, on setting those up. So that means it could be a little bit different. Nice 1-2 punch out here at long. Kenny, if he gets a kill, a lot of the focus is going to be on him. And even if Jax has played in this position before, they might just not think about it, just focused on getting that AWP out of this position. So let's see. Cirque setting up for it. This is the battle we wanted. Flashbang is going to push Kenny off the angle, but Jax is going to be there. All the attention somewhere else, and now Kenny, that's the bomb, down with 50 seconds. Breeze, nice lineup, could have been a double. Oh, but he's going to do it with a pistol instead, and that's the bomb dropped. He's back in the pit. He just might have done it here. A god-like performance from Kenny as 28 kills in the map, and that will be 16-12 in favor of G2 as they take down NRG on map number 1 of the semifinals.
That's a brawl from both teams. Massive runs through 3 different stretches of this game, and G2 ended on an 8-1 run to